Hi everyone, welcome to Silver Crow Tarot. I'm Lindsay, thanks for stopping by. Today I wanted to do a flip through or side by side of Tarot Vampyres by Ian Daniels and Tarot V, Los Carabea deck by Charles Harrington and Alejandro Colucci. I haven't seen these two as a side by side on YouTube, so I thought I would put it out here in case anyone was contemplating one or the other, or whether they needed both of them, because to me they are both very different in my eyes. And I'll just say this up front, but I'm going to save a little bit of my opinion at the end of the video, at the end of the flip through I should say. This is a very colorful and pretty deck. I mean, colorful and pretty. This is not. This is dark and intriguing in my eyes. Phantasmagoria, which is the real reason I purchased this deck, is deep, it's contemplative, it's fantastic, and I absolutely love the book. But I maybe have only used the deck in 3 readings, maybe, might even be 2. So it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong, it's beautiful. And at spooky season or the fall, winter time frame, I will pull this out and I will just shuffle it just to look at the images because I think they're lovely. But it's not my version of the vampiric realm. I mean, I grew up watching movies, vampire movies and horror films and stuff with Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi, Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, Max Schreck, the original Nosferatu in the movie, Frank Langella, Laurence Olivier playing Van Helsing, so those are darker, older films, and those were my versions of vampires, of their world. It's that dark and moody and sort of unforgiving. I mean, when I read Bram Stoker's Dracula, it blew my mind. It scared the crap out of me, to be honest. So I remember in the mid-70s, I don't remember what year, I'm going to say 76, 77 or so, when Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire came out, I was standing at the bookstore waiting for it to open so I could buy the book. And I love the book. But it took me in a darker realm too, and it sort of scared me a bit. And maybe that's the pull. Maybe that's what I like about Tarot V. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I used to rush home when I was a kid in the 6th grade to watch Dark Shadows. I don't know. You could probably find reruns of Dark Shadows, out there somewhere, but that was dark and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And on a darker theme, funny, but darker theme is what we do in the shadows. And I have little Nadja here to keep me company today. But I love that. But even though it's a comedy, it still has a bit of a darker theme to it. And that's what appeals to me, or so. I'm going to go ahead, move some things aside here, flip these over, and show you the cards. Like I said, these are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, very, very gothic-y, but this deck, when I first saw a flip through of Tarot V, it's hard for me to explain because I don't know if everyone else has the sort of intense bodily visceral reactions when they see art or when they see imagery that just feels like it sucks you in. It goes into your body, into your mind, into your body, and it just, I mean, I broke out in chills. I had chills all over, and at one point I was actually shaky, just watching the flip through of this. So I knew I needed to bring this home. I just knew. Okay, I'm going to sit down in my squeaky chair, so please forgive that. I have a wonderful Ember Glow candle burning here, but it's got one of the wooden wicks, so you might hear a little bit of crackly fire sound on it, but I had to put it on because when I use this deck, and I use this deck, I always burn this. So here we are, the Fool. Magician. High Priestess. I don't remember if they've changed the name on some of these. I just always go with what I know, and it's High Priestess and stuff, but maybe they changed the courts. I'm going to look real quick. I just call them what I know them to be. And no, it's Page, Knight, Queen, and King, so we're good to go. Okay. I mean, to me, these are both equally lovely. I love this artwork. Like I said, I love to look at it. I find symbolism and things through this, but when I see this High Priestess, she just looks at... I'm not even going to try to explain it. I'm going to flip. Empress. Emperor. That's an emperor to me. I don't really see him as an emperor. This guy's been through some crap, and he's earned his place. Please understand, I'm not trying to throw shade on Tarot of Vampires. Not at all. Like I said, the imagery is absolutely stunning. The book is amazing, and I know that so many people love this deck, and I get it. I mean, I get it. But this one has become my deck. It just is. Here's the Hierophant. Lovers, a little more traditional in the imagery here, but that's beautiful, especially the Death Moth. The Chariot. Love it, but this is like a chariot I see in every vampire movie, and that's what I like. Oh, yeah, that's it. This deck sort of pays homage to a lot of those older movies, and maybe that's why my connection to it is stronger than this one. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I have never ever watched one single episode of Twilight. Never. I don't know why. It just didn't appeal to me. This is strength to me, and this is one of the cards that I don't know if you can tell I broke out in chills right now. It has that reaction, or I get that reaction to the card. Hermit. Wheel of Fortune. Justice. You can see Lady Justice laying down here. Him rising above. Hangman. Go on to sleep. Sorry, I get a little weird. But that's who I am. Death. I like both of these cards. I mean, this is like a tragic death, and this is just real. It's just like a real death to me. I just need to shut up and flip the cards. You make your own decision. Temperance. The Devil. The Tower. The Star. The Moon. It's a powerful moon. The Sun. Yeah. Judgment. The World. Ace of Scepters and Ace of Wands. 2. 3. 4. 5. This is really interesting. 6. This reminds me of Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan? Was he a vampire? Or was he out killing vampires? 7. 8. You can definitely see the movement here with the hair flowing and the movement there. And I think he's lifting up, got his wings and he's lifting up. I don't see speed in this card, but I see movement. 9. 10. 'Page. And the pages in this deck are vampire hunters, which I thought that was kind of cool. The Knight. He's ready for action there. The Queen. And the King. Here's a vampire. This is my kind of vampire right here. Okay, let me set these aside. And we're gonna go with the Ace of Cups. This is a cup suit. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. This looks like her right before she drank a lot of blood. 7 of Cups. 8. Like Joan of Arc here. 9. This is another image that I again broke out in chills. I don't know why. It makes my body react. 10. 10 of Cups. Dude's got it all. page, Prince, Knight, the Queen, and the King. This looks like it came from a movie, and I can't remember which movie, but there was a the vampire, the Count Dracula had this sort of headpiece on and cape, and I cannot remember the movie. Drives me nuts. Okay, and here are the knives. Knives, swords, the 2, three, 4, 5, 6. You can see the movement coming off the ship there. Didn't they just make a movie about, what was it, the last voyage of the Demeter or something like that had a vampire on the ship? Wow, that sort of reminds me of that. I do like the crow. 7. If you want to talk about sneaky business, there you go. 8 of Swords. 9. 10. 'The Daughter and the Page. They have similar looks. The Prince and the Knight. The Queen. And the King. I like this King. He reminds me of a British actor. Can't think of his name. Okay. And now we have the Ace of Skulls and the Ace of Pentacles. The 2. You can see the light coming in and how it's burning her. The 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 'Daughter and the Page. Who does this remind me of? This looks like the girl that I see on the ads of Twilight. The Prince and the Knight. The Queen. She's been through some stuff. And the King. Okay. I will shuffle these as well, just so you can see how they shuffle. This is, I edged mine. I don't know if that's picking up very well. In the colors of this gray and brown on the back, so you can see that. But this is a Llewellyn deck, so you know how it shuffles. Well, if you can shuffle, it shuffles like a dream. But it never fails. You get on camera and it's like, oh, geez. It shuffles very well. I like the shuffle of it. Okay. And I edged Tarot V in a blood red. It just, I tried to get it as close to that as I could. So it's, I mean, I sort of antique the edges just a little bit. This one, if you can tell the difference, maybe I put them this way, you can see the difference in how thick this is. The cardstock on this is thicker. It's very thick to me. Both of them are glossy. So this deck is a little challenging because it's harder for me. Let me move this out the way a little bit. It's about the same size as far as height and width. There's just a little bit of difference, but this deck is, like I said, just a little more challenging for me because they don't bend as well, but I don't care. I love this deck. So, what are your thoughts? You know, do you have Tarot Vampires? Do you absolutely love it? Do you have Tarot V? Do you absolutely love it? Or do you not like either one of them? Or have you been contemplating or thinking about getting one or the other? I know for me, like I said, this is my vampire deck because I have such a visceral reaction to it. I really, truly do. I mean, it almost makes me wonder because sometimes when I'm doing ancestral reading, depending on the deck I'm using, I feel like I'm being hugged. I feel like they're here with me. You know, I get the cold sensations. I get the chills, not just on my arms, but up and down my body. And it will go from my head to my toes. You know, I just get such a reaction from this deck. And it almost makes me think that, I know it's going to sound weird and funny, but it sort of makes me think that I have an ancestor that's coming through this deck. And I probably do, because honestly, when I pick up a deck, and I don't know if anyone else out there does this, my spirit tribe comes through. I channel their messages. So I'm constantly, every time I handle a deck, I'm channeling messages. The channeled message that came through on this deck weren't so great. I mean, they really, really weren't. I've shuffled it a lot, so the edges are getting cranky. I don't know. Maybe my vampire ancestor, or someone who knew vampires, or someone who had experience with vampires, or someone who was just sort of a night creature, whoever, it comes through and delivers profound yet healing messages for me, and it blows me away. It really does. I'm absolutely enthralled with this deck, overjoyed with it. So that's the flip through. If you have any questions or comments, or please leave them for me. I'd love to chat with you about these, or anything else you want to chat about. That would be awesome. So until the next video, I wish you much peace in your life, and lots of love. Thanks for stopping by again. Bye-bye.